Ooh wee. What's going on, beautiful people? I'm gonna let you know right now, man. It's been probably the last 4 days. It's been hotter than a mother. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Started out hot. I don't know. I think it was. I don't know. I was weed eating last week, man, out there, and that's when it started getting really hot. I swear, I think it's been hot for at least the last 6, 7 days. I'm talking 90s or above. To me, that's hot. I can do it, man. I can work out in it. It doesn't bother me. I'd rather work out in the hot any day than the cold. But man, it's freaking hot. Make sure y'all, if you're out in this shit, man, make sure you're drinking your H2O, man. Don't get dehydrated. I'm drinking more of this than I am the cold ones. And you know when I ain't drinking my cold ones, it's freaking hot. I'm sitting here sweating like a slave, just sitting here talking to y'all. Don't know what part of the country y'all are at and what y'all do to keep cooled off, but let me know if you got any. I saw the other day that some people had some hats like this, but they had fans in them. So if anybody out there has one of those hats, let me know if it works. I don't want to spend my 30 something dollars. I think they were $24 and up. I don't want to spend my hard-earned money for a solar hat with fans if they don't work. So if you guys have one of those, let me know. Hit me up. Let me know if it works or not. But anyway, that's all I was wanting to talk about. It's hot out here. I'm gonna weed eat this little stretch down here. It's in the shade. I'm gonna go down to the trail. I'm gonna have to take down the damn shooting range. I'm gonna take all my steel down. Got some loggers coming in. Hopefully this week, next week. Hopefully soon. You know I've been talking about this shit for 2 months now. And where I live, it's a small town and things move small town slow. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm from Nashville. I mean, I lived in Nashville for 30 years, not where I'm from, but I lived in Nashville and it was fast paced. So I'm out here in the country, out here in the woods, in small town America, and things go slow around here. People are good. People are nice. They'll do it. Eventually, they'll get around to it, but things move slow out here. Anyway, been watching the news a little bit. I watched the news a little bit. I heard we attacked Iran. I had to see what was going on, because I'm fascinated by those B-2 bombers. And I heard it's a 5-hour drive from here to where they're at. When I worked up in Virginia Beach, I used to go to, I think it was Langley Air Force Base or whatever. It's in Norfolk, Virginia. I saw aircraft carriers up there, man. Those things were huge. I mean, I was mesmerized by how big these aircraft carriers were. Never seen anything like it before in my life. They're a floating city or floating town. Hell, some of those aircraft carriers got more sailors on them than I have. There's people in this town. So that tells you how big they are. But when I was out there, I used to take my lunch break and go out to the base, and I used to see F-22 Raptors come in. And man, if you haven't seen one of those things, they're like, they make a howling sound. I don't know if it's a howling sound. I only saw them land. I never saw them taking off. But when they're coming in, they make a screeching, howling sound. It's the weirdest thing. I never thought a plane would sound like that. But that's that technology. I mean, they were beautiful, beautiful planes. I'd love to see one on the ground. Matter of fact, when I was in Panama City, there were a bunch of them flying around down there at that base too. But I never saw them up close. They were far out. But you could hear them whining. But I would love to go see those B-2 bombers. I think they're ugly as shit when they're on the ground. I think they're just they look like a big jelly bean to me or something. But when they're flying, man, they're beautiful. They look like a freaking spaceship. I was telling somebody the other day, man, I said, those things came from Area 51. They're spaceships, and aliens are flying them. Because that's what they look like. They look like an alien craft. I mean, I heard they were like $2 billion for one. It was $2 billion for one freaking plane. I think we have more money in this country when it comes to the military than we have sense. When we just make the badass shit, and it's just amazing to me that we can build stuff like that here, but everything else is made in China, and usually it's junk. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I buy something from China, I give it 6 months. I don't give a damn if it's a can opener, a light, a small power tool, a small engine tool, like as far as like a weed eater, a chainsaw. I give it 6 months, maybe 3 months, maybe 3 weeks, that piece of shit's gonna break down. So I wish we could build stuff here, but we can't because we have to have health insurance. We have to have 401k. A lot of companies can't afford that shit. But in China, in Bingling, where the fuck they're at, little Charlie, who's 14 years old, making $2 an hour, busting his ass to feed his whole family out in the field somewhere, 200, 300 miles away, they can do it. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's a very sour topic for me because I feel like if we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, we need to get our manufacturer up and going. You know, I'm not going to do political thing. I'm not that guy. I don't really follow politics. But if old boy in the White House says what he's going to do, bring some of that stuff back over here, man. I'm all for it. I'm all for American jobs. I'm all for America first. I'm all for us taking care of us. We got something left over, give it to whoever. But I've been in the trenches. I've been out. I've seen homelessness in this country. I worked for a hotel chain where I traveled, and it was an extended stay hotel chain. I worked for 2 of them actually in my life. And a lot of that is nonprofit. You get a lot of people with mental illness that can't function in society, but just getting the bare minimum help. And I mean, they're getting their medication, but they don't have anybody monitoring them when they take it. And boy, when they go off the deep end, they go off the deep end. You're like, what the hell? And it's a horrible epidemic. It's epidemic. We're not taking care of it. When I was a kid, back in the day, when somebody was going nutso, freaking out, you didn't know what bipolar was. It didn't have a title. They'd send them away, and they'd send them to the crazy house. I'm serious. And you wouldn't see them for 6-8 months, and they'd come back and they'd be normal or semi-normal or could function. We don't have that anymore. We got people wandering around the streets, homelessness. People don't want to help them. Go on an extended stay hotel, and the general manager and his staff's got to deal with them and take care of them and make sure they're taking their medicine and they're not out trying to hurt themselves or somebody else. We got to do better than that, man. We got to do better than that. Also, when I dealt with these extended stay hotel, homelessness, we would get all these nonprofits sending us homeless people. I'm talking not just men, women. I'm talking women with kids, dudes with his 2 kids, a family. They would come stay in these hotels for months, and the nonprofit charity would pay for it. I don't understand why we don't have enough housing. If we can build a $2 billion plane, we could probably build a few apartment complexes for low-income people or people who are out on the street. So, you know, I think our priorities are wrong, and we need to get them right. I hadn't had them right in a long time, so that's just my 2 cents on that. I don't want to really bitch and moan about it, but those are some of the things that bother me. You know, you're going to say America first. Well, that's where you need to start. That's where you need to start. Anyway, the heat. Drink your water, man. Drink your water. And when you get done, you can have your cold one, 3 or 4. That's what I'm going to do today. And we're gonna call it a day after that. I'm gonna make me some pork. I bought me a grill finally. I've been cooking in this fire pit forever, and it's just getting old, and it's been here for 2 years. It was a fan that I found, like an industrial fan that I found on my property, and I dug it out. I used the top of it as my grill, but if it's not my grill, it's my fire pit. But I decided to, because it's been in the weather, it's getting rusted out and about ready to fall apart. I figured I went to Walmart, bought me one of those cheapo grills. So anyway, that's all I got to y'all. Appreciate y'all watching my videos, man, and paying attention to me, making sure I'm okay, checking on me, giving me advice, liking, sharing, subscribing, viewing, comments, all that wonderful stuff that makes YouTube, social media work. Appreciate it, man. You guys have a good day. I'm going to check you guys out later. Thank you. Bye.